Alright, hey everyone. Coming at you with a video today on some things involved with winter preparations out in the field. I know this isn't going to apply for some people because they live in the Southwest, you know, in the deserts of Arizona or whatever. It still gets cold there at night, right? But these are some of the things that I have being in the subarctic region in the far north Midwest. And these are also some items that are recommended to take with you for, say, Winter Forge, which is the training with S&S Training Solutions at the One Shepherd Leadership Institute in Ullman, Missouri. These are some of the things that they recommend you bring or have, and they provide some of this as well. But these are some of the things that just generally I have anyway for winter preparedness out in the field, for hunting trips, winter camping, training, general operations in very cold weather environments. First point of contention is MRE heaters kind of work. You know, as you know, they have a track record of working okay, but that's not going to do you much good because in especially harsh cold winter and intermediate cold weather environments, that's your wet cold, as well as harsher, more very extreme low temperature colds like my area and things like that, you're gonna have to make fires. It's just it's just an understood thing for all sides involved. You're going to have to do things to stay alive and survive in those extreme conditions. So Esbit stove with solid fuel tabs or a Jetboil with fuel cans, the packets of the liquid fuel that you can pour on heaters and stuff, the alcohol heaters, things like that. Those are very important to have, okay? You're going to constantly need to have warm things to drink and eat while you're out in the field. Another point is that canned goods, and I love my kippers, like my herring, I love, mackerel and all those things. Canned stuff is going to freeze. You can't keep all your food in cans up against your body to try and keep it warm while you're out in the field, right? So that's where some of the transition to things like your Mountain House, your primary meals like Mountain House, Alpine Air brands, and some of those things are going to be very important to have. Yes, you need to hydrate them, but they don't freeze, right? Another reason why you need to keep water, need to be able to make warm and hot water for yourself, apart from these things here, okay? You're going to need some caffeine on and off, okay? So you've got instant coffees, you've got teas, caffeinated chocolate. This stuff is awesome. That's really good to have in the field too, as well as other things to warm you up, okay? These are kind of like intermediate liquid snacks and meals to have, chicken and beef bouillon cubes. You drop one of these in your canteen cup with some water, heat it up. You got yourself a little broth. You're gonna need it because your body works almost twice as hard in winter conditions, right? You're going to be expending a lot of energy. You're going to be losing a lot of fluid out of your body, as well as salt and things like that. You're donning and doffing layers all the time to mitigate moisture and regulate temperature, things like that. Ciders are really good. Tea again. Other things, you're going to need electrolytes, so I got electrolytes there, whatever kind. I need to get some liquid IVs too, but I like the Propels. The strawberry kiwis are delicious. Those are very useful too. Sugar packets, salt packets, pepper, things like that. These are all things that are pretty much required to have in your kit for winter conditions, winter preparations, and your operations training and everything else when you're out in those kinds of conditions. It includes up in the mountains or whatever. Even in the Carolinas, Tennessee and stuff, you get up in the mountains and during winter, you're going to have snow and stuff. You're going to be in intermediate cold, okay? And you're at altitude, so it takes even longer to get water to boil, right? Same in Colorado and other places. Okay, so These are some of the core things that are good to have apart from meals, your freeze-dried meals and things like that. Some MREs are okay, but again, MREs, because they have liquid in them, they can freeze, which is why Arctic meals, you have, so with Arctic meals, they're basically Mountain House meals that they repackage for military MREs, for the Arctic MREs. Same deal. Chocolate, otherwise, it's good to have a little bit of this actually before you go to bed. Randall Gruntproof has talked about having a little bit of fat and sugar for your metabolic process when you're sleeping. So having good chocolate, don't get the stuff with the soy in it. Good chocolate is really good to have on hand. Eat a square or two of that before you lay down, and you're actually going to sleep pretty well, and it's going to help your body continue to regulate temperature and metabolism as you're sleeping in cold weather environments. So yeah, these are some of the items that I really recommend you having. And they're just good to have anyway, especially for hiking and camping trips and all kinds of other things too, right? Okay, so things to pick up. So good quality chocolate, maybe some caffeinated chocolate if you want other caffeinated things, as well as being able to make soups and broths for yourself and have warm drinks. Again, you're always going to be having to go back and forth regulating temperature and stay hydrated. For my winter loadouts, I have I use two double-walled thermos bottles for the extreme colds. One has warm liquids in it. One just has room temperature water in it. You know, those bottles are good because they help insulate and they keep it from freezing. They're going to help keep hot and warm liquids and stuff hot and warm for longer periods of time, so you can use them throughout the day. Really good to have. Okay, so some of the processes with this, and it's usually every couple of hours. I mean, you need to be relatively constantly hydrating between standard water and warm liquids anyway, on and off throughout the day. But every couple of hours, you're probably going to have to take a break, get something else in you, whether it's electrolytes or a cider or some broth or something like that. Okay, so that's kind of some of the preparations and process with it. And I've got a whole bag of them that I keep in my pack, and then some additional bags so I can pull out what I need for my day pack for daily operations and whatever else, you know, just things like that. So I always have a bunch of all of this stuff on hand. Okay, so again, electrolytes, coffee, tea, chocolate, bouillon cubes, some ciders or whatever, sugar, salt, pepper packets, stuff like that. Okay, you're gonna help yourself out in the long run having a bunch of this stuff. Okay, so hopefully that covers some of the core things in concept and principle here with why you need these things. And again, a lot of these are also recommended to have with you at training such as Winter Forge and things like that for those preparing to go to it. Apart from just making yourself, giving yourself more options and increasing your ability to stay comfortable and survive in winter conditions. So some of this is probably good to have in your vehicle too, right? A little emergency bag with a heater and some of these things. If you get stuck in the snow somewhere or whatever, might be good to have, right? Apart from a blanket, sleep system, signaling devices, maybe a road flare, something like that. Preparedness items, right? So, but as far as food and consumables and stuff goes, these are some really good things to have. Normal chocolate for when you go to bed, again, really good. Caffeinated chocolate for throughout the day, along with other caffeinated options and hot drink options, broths, electrolytes, all that good stuff. Okay, so that'll about round it out here. Hopefully that helps a lot of you. If you have any questions, leave a comment. But, you know, it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do to survive in those kinds of conditions. Why not do it in such a way that's practical and keeps you somewhat comfortable? That's subjective and relative, but of course. All right, that'll round it off. Metal up.